It's showtime.
Good morning, Vietnam! Welcome to the party, pal!
See you at the party, Richter!
I didn't kill my wife! I don't care!
Get away from her, you bitch!
I'll be back.
I'll be back. You did not going to say that, did you? What I do have are a very particular set of skills.
The dude abides.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Inconceivable!
Lilu Dallas Multipass.
This is a tasty burger.
Face.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Do or do not. There is no try.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
I'm the bad guy?
And home. Smash.
I can speak with an English accent.
Hit the hash pipe and join the National Guard. I could be elected president.
You went over my helmet?
What would you prefer? Yellow spandex? I know, right?
The list is in the open!
Hey, where are the white women at?
They're digging in the wrong place.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Are you not entertained?
Second start of the riot. And straight on till morning.
Meow.
You son of a bitch.
1.21 gigawatts!
Wax on, wax off.
Oh my goodness, I am sporting a tremendous woody right now.
Bartender is the aristocrat of the working class.
You want to flip 6 3-hole play and you could score.
Cover me.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. On this team, we fight for that itch.
It might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
No ticket.
No ticket.
I get older, they stay the same age.
It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. He's 15.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Hope is a good thing. Maybe the best of things. And no good thing ever dies.
Good evening, and welcome to The Real McCoy. I'm your host, Meffistoe, and always with me, my hetero life mate, Oh My Feelings. How are you, sir?
You can't see me, but I'm shaking my head because I do believe you're referring to Among Us as the other game you were going to play. And if so...
Why are you ruining the surprise?
Because it's bad, and you're a bad, bad man. Anyway, we have a guest today.
What is The Real McCoy, you might ask? The Real McCoy is your weekly movie podcast where we ask you to go watch a movie, come back to us, and we break it down for you. It is October. Yes, there's somebody at the door. Hold. Are you pantsless? Okay. Right. The boy said goodnight, and he is pantsless. So
nice.
No, he's not running around with his dick out. He's just doesn't have
little
any pants
alien
on.
dogs, little boys.
No,
no.
11-year-old pantsless on screen, please. Not yet. Maybe when I graduate. Anyway.
What?
What? Jokes. Anyway, it is October, and in October, it is spooky month. We have to cover horror films, and this entire month is dedicated to a little bit of body horror. And why not start with a cult classic or a movie that was misunderstood at the time. Yes, Paul Harley, it is weird. I know, I am weird. I just told Horror Amorata that I've been cocooning myself in my own head. So that's what's coming out on screen. Anyway, body horror.
It's for a little bit longer there, bud.
Thank you. Thank you for saving me. So The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing is the one that we are starting off with today with our lovely guest, a returning guest, Horror Amorata. How are you?
Yay. I'm good. I'm very good. I'm very excited.
Nice. How? What have you been doing the last year? I guess that I haven't seen you.
I got married.
Yay.
Yes.
Puppies. I got a dog. I have a puppy I need to find a new home for because she doesn't belong here. She needs to go to people who are going to love her far more than I can. Plus, I would like to be down to 5 dogs as opposed to having 6. Put my cat down last week.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's been a fun Been a fun
I
year
saw
so far.
and I couldn't react because I would be weepy as fuck.
Yeah. Well, trust me, I was weepy.
I imagine so. I imagine so. It's not fun.
That's about
All
it.
right.
What?
I said, all right.
Oh, I thought Mr. Feelings said something.
Oh, no.
No, when you hear him, he'll talk.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
cool. Let's say hello to the chat before I completely embarrass myself. Oops, too late. Hello and good evening to Kaladin. Morning, Griffin, Kaladin. Oh, no, Kalikioki, The Beast. Aloha, sir. One Punch Man and the rest of the gang that have come over from the Salty Nerd podcast. No, you have not been redirected to, but it's all good. Whoever comes. I know I don't have the Trump thing. Anyway, I've been off my game today. I imagine so. So let's start the show like we do every single time with a little segment we like to call Behind the Screens.
Sound production, take 2.
Behind the Screens is where I return to all my feelings and I stopped talking. And we get the lowdown on everything that is behind the scenes, production-wise, all that good stuff. Go ahead, sir, and I will add any tidbits that I care to.
Okay. As I mentioned to Meph backstage, there is way too much information about this. I think there are 3 different documentaries about this film now.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this one that is included in all of Carpenter's stuff. So essentially, if we were to discuss what happened while making the movie and after post-production, it would take the entire time. So gotta try to speed run this as much as we can. So
yeah, so skip the whole copyright thing battle that was going on before the movie started. Yeah.
But we'll start off based on, it was really based off the novella Who Goes There? And that was loosely adapted by Howard Hawks in 1951 as The Thing from Another World. And then eventually it kind of all of the rights from that and all the stuff from RMS and another studio kind of circulated back and forth until it got to a producer named Wilbur Stark, who owned the rights to all the films, and Universal bought them from him. So initially, Universal wanted, oddly enough, Tobe Hooper to direct. And this is after he made the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And you're wondering, I know Meph is going, why?
No, actually, Carpenter was the first guy that they've approached. And he said, no, I'm working on my own independent film. Go fuck yourself.
That's a little bit 50-50. That's coming up, though.
Yeah, okay.
But the first one who was given the job was Tobe Hooper. So he got fired because he was writing with his fiance at the time, or significant other at the time, and they hated the concept that he was going with because he was going completely off script, or completely from the original material, even the loose adaptation that Howard Hawks made.
Wow.
Yeah, and Universal and the producers or the executive producers that were attached to it actually wanted it to be as close to the novella as possible, rather than the movie version.
Talk about rare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. So that the project kind of went dormant after, oddly enough, Jonathan Landis turned it down.
Yep.
Yeah. And
I mean,
interest sparked back up after Alien came out. They're like, oh, people want to, okay, people want to see movies like this. Got it. All right.
Yeah, people love Alien Isolation. They still do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Carpenter, you mentioned that he was also reluctant at first because he was a giant fan of Howard Hawks, specifically his version of The Thing from Another World. And he thought that he couldn't do a better version of it. And what's so great is Carpenter was such a fan that that in Halloween, there are several different homages to Howard Hawks' films.
You mentioned it on the show, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I did.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. And I did not understand anything you said.
Yeah, until now.
Well, you know me. I watch The Thing more than one time in my life. It's not like my favorite. It's not my go-to horror movie if I wanted to go horror. So all the intricacies of what inspired what only comes in when I do the research.
Yeah. But so we have also just that tie-in for Halloween, that Dean Cundy was brought in to actually be the cinematographer for The Thing, specifically because he worked with Carpenter on Halloween.
Yeah.
Which is a lovely little tie-in together. And you mentioned his passion project. See, Carpenter nearly quit as production began because he was getting buzz that El Diablo may actually get greenlit.
Yes, which was the project he was kind of working on, setting up and all that stuff. And then he got sidetracked on doing Halloween. But yeah.
Yeah, and then that didn't actually release until 1990.
The El Diablo, yeah.
Yeah, he lost a couple of years there.
Couple of years there.
So really, really fun stuff is you were asking me about the thing that you asked me last week was who did makeup effects? Because you wanted to know.
I was actually correct.
Yeah, Mr. Botten.
Yeah. Boutine, Rob Boutine. I think he's I'm not sure, he's Canadian in origin, but you write his name Botten as in Bottin, but it's Boutine.
So he's French.
Yeah.
Hold.
Yeah. It's the pantsless kid again.
I know.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Uh-oh. Anyway,
they're going to look for those pants.
I'll continue while he's on that bit. So do you know Boutine's kind of his basically his category of work at all? Horror Amorata?
No, not necessarily.
So really great stuff. RoboCop.
Ah.
Total Recall.
Oh. Okay.
The Fog. The Howling. Inner Space.
Oh, I loved Inner Space.
A lot of really great movies. Also, in tandem with Rob Bottin, Stan Winston came in to work on several different scenes, specifically the dog thing.
Right.
And Stan Winston, everybody knows Stan Winston. I mean,
Yeah. Yes, Paul Harley is correct. I was
so, and the other thing that's really
call.
funny about Rob Bottin is also he petitioned and he wanted so bad. He wanted to play Palmer so bad.
Oh.
But he couldn't because, well, dude, you have to do all the makeup effects. We can't have you do both, man.
Yeah, you can't be on screen and then doing everybody's makeup at the same time.
Yeah. So now we get to the budget issues. The budget issues are probably like the biggest bit about it is Universal originally thought that the budget was going to be $17 million before marketing and set construction. So what they did is they said limit it as much as you can.
Oh.
So to do that, so originally Bennings, his death was removed almost entirely from the film. Still dies, but he was supposed to turn into a Bennings thing. And apparently that scene alone was supposed to cost $1.5 million to create.
Holy shit.
It was supposed to be like because it's the big appearance of the thing from turning him from a human into the thing.
Right.
Yeah. To do that, they eliminated a lot of exterior shots that were planned. They adapted scenes to be reset. They cut filming to 1/3 of this shooting schedule.
Damn.
Yep.
They redressed some of base 31 into the Norwegian base.
Yeah. So that
after they exploded everything.
Yeah. So the destroyed one was that one. They cut a box thing that Nowlis was the cook was supposed to confront in the kitchen. There was supposed to the Blair thing at the very end was actually really simplified.
It's a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And You know what the strange part is? There's a lot of it that got shot, and you can't even make a director's cut out of it because the film, the actual reels were actually destroyed in a fire. Later on, so you can't even do a director's cut.
And the last sad note is that Carpenter actually had to appeal to some executives to get a boost in the budget.
Oh God.
Yeah, because what the budget was, they said around 17, but then they budgeted at around 10, and they said 10 to the production team. Mm-hmm. And they stressed them out so much. And the thing about it is Carpenter didn't want to give up all the special effects because that was like the bulk of what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
So what they did was everything that Oma Feeling said. However, they also panhandled to the studio using some of the the more slick producers. So the studio actually bumped it up to 12 million. So they got an extra 2. And I think at the end of it, with all the overhead, with everything, is like 12.5, something like that. Yeah.
It's just amazing they were able to pull stuff off like that.
It's a lot of stuff that they wanted to shoot. Like they had a lot more in storyboard wise. They had a lot more of the spaceship stuff going. And they scratched it. Aww. So there's the moment where you see McCready, Cooper. I'm so bad with those names. McCready, Cooper, the other guy, were looking at the spaceship at that big hole where it kind of looks fakey.
That was Norris. Yeah.
Norris, right. It kind of looks fakey until they kind of drop down into it. That's where it comes from, where it kind of looks, not as good as the other stuff. That was one of the things that got removed. Go right ahead. Did you talk about the casting? Well,
no, not yet. No.
Okay.
So we got writing. Bill Lancaster came in, and he had to sever several different scenes from the novella. And some really important concepts was because initially the novella has 37 characters in it.
Damn. It's a lot of characters for a novella.
Yeah. Well, they die in rapid succession, obviously.
Yeah, that's true. I guess when you're killing off that many, it's not that many characters.
Yeah. And he initially wrote 4 different endings. The ending that he wanted specifically was the one that we got, was the ambiguous sort of Twilight Zone ending where is it gone? Yeah. Is it dead? There was a happy ending where McCready gets found and they test his blood and he's fine. There was one ending where it turns out at the entire time when Childs comes back, they both open their mouths and they at each other, and they're both a thing.
Yeah. And not only that, they shot one of them.
Yeah.
Not shoot, as in they shot the ending where they're both the thing without the effects, with the effects. That was the ending that Rob Bottin wanted because he wanted all the effects.
Of course. And
then the last shot of the movie is the rescue team coming to get them out of the ice. And it was like, oh, the entire planet is dead.
It's dead.
We're screwed. Yeah.
It's over.
And there was one last one that you said it about McCready staying the last guy. Yeah.
They find him alive, which is like, that's impossible. He would have frozen to death.
No, Sander, they're not making babies. They're communicating.
And also what's really funny too is the happy ending is that that's the thing that pissed Carpenter off enough where he actually gave his approval for the ambiguous ending because he wanted the final scene to be the blowing up, because even that you could hear the scream from the thing as it dies, and it's like, oh well, no, that's the end of the movie.
Oh, so he wanted the ending of the movie to be the explosion and him dying, and that's it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good guy. Well, technically everybody died, but hey, There's no ambiguity about it. The thing is dead, and so is everybody else. So, it's a positive ending, I guess.
I mean, the world's not going to be taken over by.
Yes. So
I think that's positive.
I guess we'll speed run casting real quick.
Don't speed run. We've got time. Don't worry about it.
I want to talk about the movie because there's so much good stuff to talk about.
I know.
So Christopher Walken, Jeff Bridges, and Nick Nolte turned down the role initially. Tom Atkins, Sam Shepard, Jack Thompson were considered and were interested, but they went with Kurt Russell. And when they went with Kurt Russell, he took a year to grow his beard, first off.
Damn, that was a nice beard, too.
Yeah. Excellent job. Excellent facial hair, my good friend. And his salary got bumped up from $500K to $400K. Sorry, $50K to $400K.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
50 to 400, that's better.
That's a nice jump.
Eight-time jump, yeah. And that's typically because it was Carpenter who fought to get him the money because he knew that Russell would commit to long hours and would not complain.
Makes sense.
And also he was kind of the last guy to be cast, which is odd.
That's true. Yeah. He was the very last guy. Speaking of casting, initially Ernie Hudson was the front runner to play Childs.
Yes.
Interesting.
Which I just when I first heard that and I read it, it's multiple different sources. I'm like, that makes no sense. I'm sorry. I just can't say Ernie Hudson's too nice of a guy to play Childs, man.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, the other two people were like Isaac Hayes and Carl Weathers.
Weathers I could see, and it was Carpenter who wanted Isaac Hayes.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Isaac Hayes would work.
Yeah. But they met Keith David and went, that's the guy.
Yep.
That's the guy. And this is his first major film too.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So, but speaking of him, poor Mr. David had a little problem before the movie where he got into a car accident and really fucked up his hand.
Oof.
So if you notice, you don't see Childs' hand, one of them, throughout most of the film. And if you pay real close attention, you'll see when you do see it, it has a really weird kind of glove on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
I was going to bring up, not for casting, but obviously with the way that it was set up for some practical effects, they had to do it in post. So they had them react in the same way that they do with, early
like
green screening where they had just like giant X's set there and like react to it.
Oh, yeah.
I remember you're scared.
Yeah.
I've got one more casting thing, which from everything, I've found that the most interesting. The role of Blair, which was Wilfred Brimley. Originally, the guy who was considered for the role was David Pleasance. Now, if you don't know the name, that's fine. But David Pleasance is the guy who most notably known as Blofeld in James Bond.
Yeah.
He's the bald guy who's essentially Dr. Evil. What Dr. Evil is modeled after.
I thought he was Dr. Loomis.
But Carpenter thought he was too recognizable and unbelievable as Donald Pleasance. Sorry, Donald. What did I say? I noted David. That's my fault. Donald Pleasance. Sorry. They chose Wilfred Brimley because at the time, Wilfred Brimley was a complete unknown, which is, in today's standards, like, really, Wilfred? Like, diabetes
everybody knows
guy?
Wilfred Brimley.
Beat his head.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to bring up is just so fun is there was a scene that was cut that I thought would have been absolutely hilarious. There was supposed to be a scene where, there's that shot where they're having rec time where the dog is underneath the pool table.
Mm-hmm.
There was supposed to be a scene where McCready was sitting there just like in the background blowing up a blow up doll. And at one point in time, it was Bennings was supposed to pop into it, and it was supposed to be a jump scare.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
I could imagine it was cut because Carpenter thought it was too jokey for the movie?
Actually, Carpenter wanted it in the film to relieve
Really?
tension. Yeah, because it's like, oh no, there's a little bit of levity. It'd be funny. It'd be really, really funny.
Okay. I would think it was the other way around, but okay. Yeah. I get it.
I think the last real big note has to be about the score. Beautifully done by Ennio Morricone. Obviously everyone knows him. He's in the Grammy Hall of Fame. I mean, I think probably his most really known work is for Tombstone and Unforgiven. But he did a lot of spaghetti western stuff. He did his work is just, it's biblical how much work this guy did.
Yeah. And they only used like half of it or something.
Yeah.
There's like an hour of score, and the only like memorable parts from the score is the doom 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 doom. It's that heartbeat kind of a thing that is like synonymous with the thing. Which,
and what's funny too is the opening bit where the scroll where the burn in fade in for the thing happens. The effect of that, do you know who that was done by?
ILM?
John Carpenter.
Really?
The fuck you say?
Yeah.
Really?
The music and
Nice.
everything. Yep. Well, because later he ended up scoring a lot of his own works.
Yeah, because I know for this one, everybody thought it was him for the entire time, but then he said, no, it's it's that guy. It's like, no way. But yeah, cool. I didn't mention it, or I didn't. I don't know. So when the movie came out, that ambiguous ending, test audience hated it, actual audience hated it, and critics hated it when it came out.
But what's so funny too is all the test audiences that reviewed all the other endings hated the other endings more than the ambiguous ending.
Yes.
Funny.
They thought the happy ending was too cheesy and it made no sense.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what helped sell it, because Carpenter was like in simpatico with Lancaster at some point when they actually shot the thing and it put everything together. And when they brought it to the test audience hated this, hated that, hated this. It was like, okay, I'm just going to go with my gut here. And they sold it to the studio because it's the least hated, I guess. And then when actual audiences hated it, it kind of made the movie not as good in terms of reception. But of course, later on, everybody kind of got what they were going for.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
And there's like, oh my God, why didn't it win an Oscar?
Yeah.
Well, it is what it is with some movies. And we've seen a couple of these that are like, why? All right, cool. That is it.
I guess one last thing, because I know we're going to blow by it real quick, is just the fun fact is that Adrienne Barbeau is the voice of the chess computer.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And it's not really surprising to me whatsoever.
It's so funny. It's just, I thought that was just a funny little note. It's just like, yeah, just threw her in there.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, when he loses, he just pulls this kind of cheating bitch.
Yeah.
Me.
All right, cool. Let's do a pause. Unless Amorata has anything else to add. No,
we're good.
Cool. All right. Finally, we have a guest, so we can actually play the game correctly, I guess. We'll play our first Give It of the night. It is Missing Marquee. Missing Marquee is where we take 10 posters, have their text written off, we display them, and Amorata, with the help of the audience, and of course, all my feelings, will have to guess which movie this is. And of course, I've saved my share screen up to this point so we can do this.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
I want to say Miss Saigon, but I don't think that's right.
It is not Miss Saigon.
Really? Apocalypse Now?
Yep.
What did you say? Sorry?
Apocalypse Now?
Apocalypse Now is correct.
Conan the Barbarian.
correct.
That one's easy.
Oh, this movie's so
Advocate?
bad.
Mm-hmm. Amorata.
Devil's Advocate?
Not Devil's Advocate. No, does not. Devil's Advocate has no Arnold in it.
I said that's
that is Arnold?
Yeah,
That is Arnold.
This is a terrible movie.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, that doesn't narrow it down.
Fair.
It also has Satan in it, but this is the Satan in this one is Gabriel Byrne, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Sander has it.
Sander Hammerslack has it. It is End of Days.
You're not missing anything. You're fine.
You're not missing anything. This is a newer film.
Black Hawk Down?
Not Black Hawk Down. Much newer.
If it's much newer, I'm not going to know it, unfortunately.
This is Chris Hemsworth, and he's done a couple of these. This was the first one.
That doesn't tell me anything.
It is not 12 strong. No, it is not 12 strong.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait for the chat on this one. I have no clue.
Do you know All My Feelings? Don't say if you do.
No, I haven't seen it, so yeah.
Oh, I have not seen it either. I just know what it is. Paul's got it. It is Extraction.
There we go.
Yes.
Good thing someone knew. Oh, this one's definitely older.
Very old.
Shit.
This is a hint. The worst movie ever made.
Okay.
I should know, but I don't.
You should. Directed by Ed
Wood?
Wood.
Yes.
Oh, God.
It's Plan 9 from Outer Space.
It is Plan 9 from Outer Space. Planet of the Vampire Woman? Close, but no.
What was the one with that tower?
No, not the
one?
one with the tower. No,
not the one with the tower.
I will punch up a little bit so you can see the actor. Plus the top one. Yes.
Is that Charleston Heston?
That is Charles Heston, correct.
It's not. I was about to say Soylent Green, but I was having
It
problems
is.
remembering the word.
It is people.
Oh, that's right. That's the riot control bus should have got. Yeah.
Oh, this is one of the Bond movies.
Does not star Blofeld in it, nor Dr. Evil.
So it's Goldfinger?
It is not Goldfinger. Goldfinger is way earlier.
Okay. Sanders says Tomorrow Never Dies.
Jay has got it. Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah. Oh,
this movie's so
so vague.
This is actually the first time I've seen Vin Diesel in a movie.
It's so funny because the second one in the trilogy they completely ignore in the third movie.
I know.
That's funny. Is it a transport? Oh no. Well, apparently
Not
everybody's saying it's
Transporter.
Triple X.
Triple X is correct.
That's good because I've never seen that one.
And that is it.
And what's so funny too is in the third movie, they actually went back and bought that really terrible jacket that he wore. I know this specifically because the Mark Zuckerberg bought that for his friend from the original movie. So they had to go back out and find the prop director who created the jacket from the first movie in the third movie.
Oh God.
There was a fourth movie?
Third movie.
A third?
Third movie.
Yeah, the third movie.
I know the second Triple X is starring Ice Cube, which is, Vin Diesel, tall, bald, white-ish. And the second one is short, black, fat.
See, the thing is though,
not so much.
Vin Diesel's not that tall.
I know, but he kind of looks tall.
No, he's got the same little man syndrome.
Oh no, don't.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a real piece of work.
It's okay. I prefer Ice Cube. I just don't like Triple X too, because both of those movies are fucking.
Well, I would say I would prefer the other persons with a Napoleon complex. Tom Cruise, his War of the Worlds is way better than Ice Cube's. Although Ice Cube's is one though. Oh man, if you want to laugh, that movie is just terrible. It's like, okay.
I haven't heard anybody say anything good about that.
It's so bad.
Allow me to abstain from all of that discussion.
So I'll have Hobo Tim Robbins any day of the week.
Let's just say Ice Cube is really good in other movies, like 21 Jump Street or something. All right, cool. I like Ice Cube. So we have our base, the setup. Our base in Antarctica. And I guess they try to call McMurdo on the radio and they can't really do it because they say it's the start of winter, which if it's the start of winter, it's supposed to be dark. Very, very, very dark. Even like
what I'm
midday.
Assuming is the issue is the fact that of what they unearthed, the Norwegian team, that's what's scrambling all of the radios as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a more recent thing in how fast it consumed the entire Norwegian party and how fast it consumes them. You can see it being within 2 weeks, that being the timeline.
Yeah.
All right. My chair is bothering me again. And then we got of course, get the sort of start of the show. I didn't put it on, but
the intro is with the
intro. Yeah.
Think of it. I like to think about it this way. Just think of it as a thought exercise. Do you think the pilots in that spacecraft were being consumed by the thing, and that's the reason why they crash landed?
You never know. It could be like an alien situation, as in like the navigators kind of thing.
Yep.
Or it could be the original crew, because the thing was in a box of sorts.
Right.
So you never know. Is it like a containment box? You don't know. The fact of the matter is, it is good that some things are ambiguous and not told, not discussed, no nothing, which leaves the audience to rewatch the movie, rethink, and mull it over for themselves. And everything is open to interpretation. I like that in a movie. I do like that in when you tell a story, you leave things sort of like out there, and it works within the confines of not only this movie, but a horror movie in general, because then you can do sequels.
Yeah.
I do like that in a little bit of storytelling. I think Carpenter mentioned that when he read the original novella, he said it's very, very timeless, and that's why it's easier to build a new sort of updated movie with like new technology, new things, like new things that you can play with, that the original piece from what was 1938, 39, right? That you can adjust and play with, and it really won't disturb the original piece, and it would still keep it in rails. So the fact that you have these, and you have it, the computer monitor, and you see the little cell being eaten by the sort of red cell and being replicated, and that's a visual cue to us, the audience, to understand, oh, this is how they imitate. This is why it's an imitation and how it kind of takes over. The dog. Can we talk about the dog? Let's talk about the dog.
Let's talk about the dog.
Jed the dog. I want a good... It's in motion, so I only have this shot. But Jed the dog was trained by... Is it Chris Rowe? I have to, go to my notes again.
I do believe so.
Is it? Let me see.
I would say too. Even though technically it's a puppy, it's not a puppy, it's a thing. So technically Jonesy is still the worst.
No. Clint Rowe, not Chris. Clint Rowe is the guy who was like, he was a well-known animal trainer at the time. When I saw what it was said in the wiki page, they said legendary. Everything that is legendary is like, oh, it's fine. He was used more than one time, makes it legendary. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the famous the famous scene where the dog kind of walks into the pen and sits down and looks at the other dog, but essentially it's the camera kind of looking at him and him looking at the camera, was done in one take. The dog was so well trained. Yeah, the dog was so well trained. The cast and crew said the dog is spooky, like really spooky, because you could tell him to do something and he would do it.
Well, you get that impression too when he's laying under the pool table looking around like, when's my time to strike?
Yeah. They said he was so convincing as the alien, they couldn't shake that feeling, even though they knew he wasn't really an alien.
Okay, where are your tentacles?
Yeah.
Come on.
So the opening shot where the Norwegian comes in, he shoots everybody else. Now, one thing I could not get.
I don't think he wasn't trying to shoot everybody else. He was trying to shoot the dog. But also in the interim too, come on, Butterfingers with a thermite grenade on your own helicopter. Come on.
Yeah.
Not only that, the what's the guy's name who was the security guy?
Gary?
Gary. So Gary, in an Alaskan base,
how he
takes
smashes
his
out
gun,
the window?
smashes the window, and starts firing. What are you, in the OK Corral? What the hell is wrong with you?
Well, it was even Palmer who said later, he goes, well, finally Gary got to use that old pea shooter of his.
Yeah.
And also his office is fucked.
Yeah. But from this attack, we kind of get sort of the feel of who's against who. So Cooper is like the doctor. Blair is sort of a biologist or some sort of scientist.
He's a biologist, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there's
Fuchs who works with him.
Yeah, so Fuchs is the guy who works with him. So they do have a little bit of medical-ish knowledge, but not really. So if you don't know the movie and you come into it, it's like, wait a minute, so Cooper I know is the doctor because I see him treat people and they talk to him and they say doc. But the other guys kind of have a little bit of knowledge, like medical knowledge, but it doesn't, it's not a here nor there. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
But everything is kind of set up at the beginning where the communications are down. They don't know what's going on. And they decide to take the helicopter out in like a blizzard.
Which is retarded, but yeah.
Which is, yes, considerably so. And
because it was who said that to it was Palmer. Palmer was like, I can fly. And it was like, no. He's like, well, I'm glad you gave it a thought.
and at this specific point, McCready is like looking at the skies like, no, you're not. I'm going to fly.
We got to get out of here because it was Cooper, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so because they go to the base, they find the man who unalived himself with his frozen blood out there, but also too, like, he slit his wrists and then he made a Pez dispenser out of himself.
Yes, so
that takes a lot of effort.
Yeah,
a lot. Yeah, it's Cooper, McCready, and I think it's Gary at first who go there. So this base, as like I said, is base 31, or is it 31 or 34? 31. Let's just say that. It's base 31, just redress. It's the same set. It's just
US base 31. They redress it later.
Yeah. So they see everything else and they discover this, which is weird because it's a block of ice with some shit missing into it. And then they kind of find the weird, I want to get to it. That's as much as I can. Look, there's some stuff that I can't put on screen, even though it is on other YouTube videos that I'm guessing they're monetized, but I'll be careful. Okay. So you don't see any, blood icicles. We'll just say that. Okay. So we have this stuff, where
this too with the autopsy that they do on the thing person, where so like this is normal. It's like this is pretty fucking far from normal.
Yeah, that's not normal.
It kind of leads into this where they can see it thaw up. Now I want to talk about a little bit of like movie magic. What's the movie magic? When they're on set, so they had a studio that they filmed in, okay? When they're on set in the studio itself, the soundstage, I would say, the soundstage itself was chilled down to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 4 Celsius, give or take. So not freezing point, but frozen enough. So when you see actors inside the base with a little bit of, that breath, that chill breath, that's actually real, that's like a small little detail. Again, Amorata mentioned how cool practical effects are. Yes, practical effects.
I was thinking with this, when the first time they did it, I thought they were utilizing the old trick of dry ice underneath.
No, it's actually a chilled down sound stage, which is cool because what Carpenter was trying to achieve is people being really cold while trying to act, and they have the shivers a little bit. He was trying to go for authenticity where there's a lack of authenticity when you're on a big sound stage, and it's really hard to do. So all the snow is like a fake snow, not really. It's that shitty material that they used to use that is really bad for your lungs. But otherwise, everything is cold. When they shot on the exteriors in British Columbia, sorry?
No, what's odd with that scene, though, the characters standing around that, as a biologist, as a doctor, as soon as you opened it and how it was frozen outside and it's thawing that fast, wouldn't you have a little bit of concern?
That should scare you a little, I would think.
And also, given its form as well, like, maybe we should keep this frozen outside.
Or in a containment field behind a trap or something. I don't know.
Like some kind of blast-proof containment unit.
In a vault down in the bottom of the sea or something. Yes, I know. So the thing is, there's a dog running loose. Now, I want to get to that scene before he stepped into the pen. There's that scene where he walks around the corridor. Hold.
Because it bumps into Benning's leg, and that's the leg that he got shot in. Because he goes, take that dog down to the kennel. We'll take that mangy mutt down to the kennel with the rest of the dogs. But Clark takes him.
Before that, there's a moment where the dog, he walks down the corridor. I don't have it set up, but he walks down the corridor, and then you see him look into a room where you only see the shadow of the guy, so you don't know who the guy is. And then he walks into the room, and it cuts to, I think McCready started to talk, or they're arguing about the cook's infernal noise, which is, by the way, a good song.
It was, which to be fair, that's a great pick. I know. Wonder superstitious. I mean, superstitious. That's a really good pick. That is very on the nose.
So this scene where he, taps into the room a little bit, and then he lies in the middle of it, staring down the other dogs.
I feel so bad for the other puppies because they freak the fuck out, and the one is actually trying to chew off pieces of the fence to get this. Like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, yeah. And he becomes this tentacly. This scene where it's like, I'm out of here, bitches. He doesn't quite make it. Let's just say that.
Aww.
Yeah, not too good for the dogs this time around. But when everybody comes in, this is, I guess, one of the most recognizable puppets. What was on this movie? I guess
I would say the dog thing, and then the
head.
The
Norris
thing. The Norris, like when he does the when he's doing the EKG app. Sorry, what is it?
The defibrillator?
Yeah.
When he does that, and Norris's chest pops up and
yeah,
eats his arms, and then the head detaches itself and crawls away.
God, I love that one.
Yeah. The fact that they're all looking at this after having that night and not understanding that this thing needs to get burned and die is insane to me. Like, there were so many moments in this movie where, like, why aren't you just burning it down? It's that stupid thing that we like to call curiosity.
Yeah, and Blair also too. You've been poking at it, and you keep putting stuff near or around your orifice.
I noticed that too. Like, you notice in this shot is like he's got his like pencil in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times he's just doing this with his lip.
Mm-hmm.
And his fingers, and you just touched it.
Now you're touching your mouth, of all things.
Yes, and
it's very interesting too. Apparently, that some of these people must be just absolute giants in their field, because Blair surmises immediately how what it's doing is it's assimilating things. As you can see here, it's already forming 3 different versions of the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to it before it could finish.
Yeah, and he got to that conclusion really fast to my taste, but it's like it's a horror movie. So everything is sometimes either going real slow and then it kind of ramps up.
It's not as bad as one just random, I don't know, ballpark it figure that comes up in a minute, but we'll get to it.
Yeah. We kind of skip over the fact that Cooper picked up these videotape. They mentioned the fact, we've got a video recorder device. It's so weird. They didn't say a VHS camcorder, which was what they were probably using because that was available at the time, but they kind of skirt that.
Palmer and I think Palmer and Curtis. Is that Curtis? Palmer and Childs. They were sitting there. They were watching old episodes of
The Price is Right. Yeah, I know.
No, it wasn't Price is Right. It was
Let's Make a Deal.
Let's Make a Deal. Let's
make a deal.
Yeah, and he goes, I've seen this one before. And then popping the tapes out. Yeah,
and I think Cooper mentioned the fact that there's like 9 hours of this. So they were meticulously watching until they got to this point and where they blew this thing up. And it kind of intrigued McCready to go check it out. Right. And let's just say this. I love McCready's hat.
Yeah.
It is the most ridiculous hat.
It is sort of like, why are you wearing it sideways? I mean,
it looks like, to me, it looks like the urban sombrero gone wrong.
What an odd choice.
Yeah.
So they're off to check it out. and they kind of discover this ship, I guess. And
and what's just interesting too, just as an aside, right before that too, is how Blair is checking in on Clark already, and he's trying to cast aspersions and suspicions toward Clark, which means I think that Blair was already infected here.
This is the thing, and I'll ask Amorata about this because you've seen the movie probably more times than me.
Probably.
So there's this scene where Blair goes crazy, right? What is your opinion? Is he already infected and trying to throw off suspicion, or it was pre-getting infected? And the audience can share their thoughts as well. Was Blair kind of the first guy to really be infected or not?
I mean, considering how much time he spent playing with his mouth, yeah. I do think he was infected. I think he was probably in the course of being taken over.
Actually, I think the first person that was infected and the shadow in the room, that was Palmer.
Interesting.
Because the dog goes into that room. We don't see who was there with them. We assume it's Clark, but we find out later that Clark was never actually infected.
See, I'm always in the notion that the guy that you see in the shadow, because of the like weird curly hair, would be Norris. And because he, from the group, up until the point where you see him turn into like something, or the thing, he's very passive. And there's a moment where they were like, okay, we need somebody to lead us. And instead of going to McCready, they go to Norris because he's sort of like the consensus of he didn't do anything wrong to anybody. He didn't shout at anybody. He wasn't, going crazy. And he's like, no, I don't need this. It's sort of it's a really blink and you miss it kind of a scene where it's like, okay, McCready's going to be the one.
Yeah, but I would think that if Norris was already the infected at that point in time, wouldn't he then accept responsibility so we would actually have all access to everything?
Again,
I'm not sure that people know right away when they're infected as part of it, because people like Sanders asking why would he do the test with the cells, because his body might be being taken over, but his brain isn't aware of the fact that it's losing itself yet. So in the process of being taken over, it's going to do things that it doesn't necessarily know are going to be contrary to it, because it's not an all at once thing. It's a gradual process.
No. That is true, and that actually really does explain some of the later metamorphoses. So,
and the thing I'm getting to is because in later moments in the movie, most of the sort of takeovers, or even from the moment with the dogs, the takeovers we do see are pretty sort of violent. We don't think of a takeover as something very subtle, like you said with Blair, sort of like it's taking him over, and maybe it's a little bit of now it's fully taken over, because all of the rest of the takeovers, the stuff that we do see, are very, very violent, right? So the connection between the two are pretty off. Now,
I think that might be just because of the ones that are when it actually fully does consume someone, is because it's already has infected and really got into their system. But the one that we don't really get to see the full one of is Bennings, because Windows sees it have its tentacles around Bennings, and they hunt him down in the snow.
Yeah.
And so there's this channel I watch. It's called, I think it's Roanoke Gaming. I could be confusing it with Wild Such Gaming, but anyway, he's a microbiologist, and he does a lot of videos on these kinds of things. And he's done the thing, and he went through and described how through virology and the way things take over, why it would be a slow progression as opposed to an all at once, and then only once the thing is ready to really spread or whatever, it comes out all at once at the final moment, and that's when it's moving on to the next thing. It's a very slow kind of progression. I mean, it's kind of like, think of rabies.
Yeah.
You know, you don't necessarily know right off that you have rabies.
Yeah, it takes about a month to get to the brain or something. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I get it.
Your body starts having the reactions towards it gradually anyway. So, and then you get to that point that it just kind of destroys you, and then it's too late, obviously. Well, it's too late almost instantly, but that's a separate issue. But, you know, as things go,
this is the thing that I think Carpenter actually did want people to do, and this is stuff I like about
the
about
conversation
movies
we're having now. Yeah,
exactly. It's the conversation about, wait a minute, who was it? Was it like a fast transition? Was it a slow transition? Because the slow transition, like Amorata said, was, you know, unseen or very slow. But the more violent ones we do see, the context again is more of a thing.
and
Sander has a great, and Sander adds to that great point. Why would he destroy the radio and the vehicles, and why would the thing sabotage the routes of escape?
But if you look at it, you remember the Blair thing at the end was creating a spaceship.
Exactly. So he needed
He was
parts.
sabotaging the ways of escape for everyone else.
Yeah.
And also, if the spaceship didn't work, or if that means of escape didn't work, the thing knows it can survive in the frozen wastelands, and
so it would just wait for
help, or not help, but rescue would eventually get there. Because they do mention the fact that they're in for the long haul, and spring will come eventually, and they would be, you know, whisked away or transferred, or some sort of an exchange of personnel. So there is a way out in case of, and it can always just stay in the ice. Yeah. All right. Cool. And yes, I love these conversations. And this thing about the projection of the civilian, like, this is to get, this does two things. A, it kind of half explains the Blair going crazy, and also having us as audience, as viewers, look at this and read this and like, oh my God, what would happen if this thing gets away? Which puts us in a position where we know or can imagine more about this thing, more than the characters that we see on screen, which puts us in a state of stress of watching this.
Going to say also too, the paranoia that it built in already, the simulation, saying that there is a 75% chance that someone else is already infected.
Yes, which comes a screen before that.
Yeah.
And again, the connections between the torn shirts and being transferred or imitated or being taken over is linked here, where they don't quite do the link. But again, it suggests it's a much more violent episode rather than a small transition.
Mm-hmm.
But he keeps playing with our heads all the time, which is, you know, something that you should do in a horror movie, because you're telling a story that is unnerving and scary, and like, you have to, you know, join that paranoia of the characters you're watching. And yeah, McCready is a drunken fool, but
yeah.
This takeover, which again, this was a more violent takeover of what was his name again?
Bennings.
Bennings, not Bennett.
Yeah. George Bennings.
Bennings.
Yeah.
Where
but it's also too that Windows does state the obvious too. We're like,
yeah.
What are we going to destroy this? Are you kidding? This is the most important find in human history. I mean, there is literally intelligent life somewhere else in the universe. it's pernicious and very violent, but it's
Yeah.
intelligent life.
There we go. I wanted this particular shot where it is Bennings, but
It hasn't
it's
fully
not
assimilated
just
yet.
quite yet. Not quite yet.
This reminds me so much of a movie we're going to talk about very soon, which is The Substance.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. But yeah, they understand that they need to burn it because of the Norwegian base. Because they went to the Norwegian base and they saw it completely burned. But that half, the crazy misshapen body, they were trying to burn it, but they didn't burn it all the way. And that's why it got frozen. And that's why we get another sample of that thing. So what they do is just like, we are just going to burn it to a crisp because that's the only way to do it.
Yep.
But that just doesn't quite do it yet.
Of course not.
I want to get to the speech. The speech happens right after Blair goes crazy. Yeah, he had a lot more than 6 shots in that gun, but we'll put that aside. I love the fact that once he's like, oh, I've spent my gun, he just throws it at the doorway for no good reason and goes for the axe. And when they do subdue him, they're like, it's a little bit comedic, and I'll say why. Because you hear the punch sounds,
and it's a very old, like, classic sound effect, like Foley scream, where it's like, okay, guys.
And they don't knock him out. They just,
was it Childs? It goes, nice one, McCready.
Exactly. It's again, it's a little bit.
You're beating up on an old man with diabetes, there, Jack. Come on, man.
He only developed it later on. So they carried him away. I love the fact that after he comes to visit him for the first time, Blair's like begging him to return. And at this point, I was like, okay, I don't know what happened and why he got crazy. I know he's now the thing.
Well, also, note the fact that as soon as they put him in the tool shed, Blair keeps warning them about Clark.
Yeah.
And putting that paranoia amongst the team. And again, Clark is an infected.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so weird because he's throwing them off the scent of him for pointing out another thing that they can burn. But they do say, I think it's closer to the end, that they kind of say, well, the thing is not just the one thing. It's just a part of a whole, and it can split apart and still be in contact with each other. Sort of like, I guess, like the Borg, but not really.
Yeah, it is. It's essentially a hive mind. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially.
But each one of them has its own survivor's instinct. That's why they do the blood test.
Yes. Yeah. And it's a really great way to sort of exposition dump to put that into the audience and kind of make you understand what was going on, even though that conclusion was sort of reached way out there. And I don't think anybody would actually think that at the time.
As a side note, with the blood test, with the wire, I think, oddly enough, South Park did the best homage to it. It was during the Lice Capades episode.
I haven't seen it.
It's where
there's so many episodes I haven't seen.
All the kids basically had lice, but they tried, like, Cartman was the one doing the thing blood test, and he had and he looked like McCready while he was doing it. So I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. I see.
So after they put Blair on, they kind of say, okay, we have to figure out who is the guy. So we have our blood samples that are original blood samples, and we're just going to compare it to the two, which is, what would any normal person would think? Like, okay, we've got a fresh blood, and we have like people. Now we can compare blood and see who's who. But of course, all the bloods have been drained or,
sabotage.
By the way, there's enough there to do that test, but okay.
But you don't know what's been contaminated or not. That's the.
Yeah, I
know.
I know. I want to get to.
And this is why I told you why I love this movie so much, because it's not only a horror film, but it's a story of how man's greatest threat is man.
Yep.
And how fear and paranoia can breed hatred and suspicion like that. And that's exactly what happens to them.
Because they find the most like stupid excuse. Oh, you had the key, but everybody, like, this guy had access, but you're the only one who had the key, but you give the key to anybody who has access. So there's so many avenues that they were going for.
Well, there's also
sort of exonerate.
Well, there's also their preconceived notions, and they're all already like building distrust that they already had for each other. Like I think it's who was it? I think it was Cooper who says, "I don't want to go with Windows," or like Windows is like, "I don't want to go with Palmer," or something like that. And they're because they already don't like each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. The speech. I think one of the most, if not the most famous scene from this movie. Like there's like the dog scene, there's the Norris scene, but this scene where I can't really play it, but the McCready scene is like it's an imitation. It wants to live. It want to confuse us. All that. One of the most memorable scenes in movie history, I think.
I would say
don't go all at once.
I say for horror films, it is up there.
Yeah.
But it's interesting with the way that how McCready is given responsibility, though McCready is literally just he's Jack Burton. He really is. In a lot of ways.
I don't see it.
He's a more gruff version of Jack Burton. He's a world-weary Jack Burton.
Sander's like, you got to be fucking kidding me. What, Sander? Not the most famous scenes in movie history? One of them? Doesn't have to be the most notable scene in every movie. No, one of them.
I mean, it could be like number 500 out of 10,000.
It could be. Yeah.
There's a lot of famous
There's so many. You can't choose. Like, you want to go back to like 1939? No, not that year. Never mind. To Gone with the Wind. There's two famous scenes just right there, right?
Yep.
That is the most I said that is the most famous scene from this movie. It's the one where you're like, okay, up until now we were having fun. Now we are getting serious. And this is an hour and 10 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, I was going to say too, moving from there, as we have the three people that get drugged. They shoot them up with morphine, which
yes,
they aren't, and all three of them weren't, was Gary, Cooper, and Clark.
Gary, Cooper, and Clark.
And then they try to then Mac is doing a recording of a memorial. What's going on?
Yeah, the fact of the matter is there's a sentence there that he said that was like, we're not gonna make it alive.
Yeah.
And then he
because like this is a memorial, like in case somebody finds this afterward and we're all dead. It's like, yeah, because he already knows we're all gonna die.
And not that, the fact that he stopped, rewind, and recorded something on top of it because he doesn't want to face the fact that they might all die.
Yeah.
And he kind of stricken that from the record. and puts a much more official, oh, this is J.R. McCready, blah, 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 from base 31, blah, 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 blah. That's it.
Yeah, but then we have that juxtaposed with Fuchs finds Mac's torn shirt. And so it looks like it's a setup, like it's a red herring, essentially.
Yes. And to me, it's sort of like it just puts the rest of the audience on edge throughout the next scene, because the next scene is the one where they test everybody's blood. And time
they go to find Fuchs.
Oh,
and Blair's the pleading, like, I'm fine now, it's fine. They find Fuchs's corpse and he is incinerated, where it's like, and one of them just offhandedly goes, well, he didn't want to get taken by it, so he just burnt himself to death. Like, that's a hell of a way to go.
Yeah, which is a little bit unbelievable, but it kind of creates this moment where he goes into Blair's cabin where they locked him up, and Blair's like, okay, I'm okay now. I want to come back. Can I come back? And I was like,
oh yeah, you're infected.
Nope. He is not Blair. No way. I don't care who is the other thing, but this guy, It is, to me, from everybody else, the most obvious of like, oh, please, can I get back in? Just let me in.
No, because I want to be back inside. Where it's just like, why did you like? I just want to give everybody a great big hug. Like, come on, man.
So, what was the cook's name? Nollis?
Nollis, yeah.
Nollis. So Nollis leaves McCready out there, even though he has not seen the clothings. He said he did, but he really didn't.
Well, I want to say that was the great sign too, because McCready had the presence of mind, because he goes, no, we have to go check out my shack. Why? Because I had my lights turned off.
Yeah.
And so it was Nollis who's like, he finds the torn shirt, like, oh, so now they're suspicious that Mac's the thing now.
And McCready is so crazy, he actually he comes back in and he threatens everybody with a fucking dynamite, which is hardcore, to be honest. It's like, okay, I'm going to light this thing on fire because I know I'm human. And he's so convinced he's human. I think the audience is like, but we saw that ripped clothing and so many signs that kind of point to the fact that you are not.
Correlation does not mean causation.
Yeah. And and this to me was a really great moment, because it really puts everybody on edge, as in the audience on edge, because we're fed so many pieces of information and you're so crazy trying to figure out, but wait a minute, I thought this was the guy. No way, this was the guy. And all the while, nobody figures out until a certain point where they kind of tell, like I said, it's sort of a Borg situation, until they actually tell you it's a cell that can be and like in multiple phases and such. Up until that point, you're really not putting it together that it could be like multiple people and the other people are just trying to figure out and, find their way in the dark. And this to me was a great moment. We're like, oh shit, wait a minute. Wait a minute. And all that situation creates poor Nollis having a heart attack or a cardiac arrest.
It's Norris,
not Nollis.
He has a
Nollis is the cook. No. Yeah. Nollis is the cook. Sorry. I was just looking at chat and saw Sander. It's my fault. All right. This thing, yes, got it. This is the least offensive shot. Okay.
I mean, the mouth closed all the way isn't all that offensive.
No. I mean the blood and stuff.
Oh. Yeah, I guess there's a.
Could you tell me how this was made practically? Oh, my feelings. You probably have notes about this.
I do, but it's going to take way too long to explain.
Don't tell me the technical thing. How was this done?
So first they did a full body cast of, it was Charles Houlihan who played Norris. And as they actually had it set up with the way that it opened, there are two different takes because they did one where it actually was done in reverse.
Okay.
So it actually was already open and then it closed
to
make it seem more seamless. But I know with this take, with the way that it popped open, there was it was Cooper the stunt actor who played Cooper, it was Richard Dysart's stand-in, had to step on a pneumatic pump that would actually make it pop open.
Okay. So these hands are not the stunt. Well, it is a stunt guy.
Yeah.
But it's a stand-in because the guy who got his hands ripped off, which is not this guy.
Yes.
The guy who gets his hands ripped off was an actual
amputee, yes, yeah.
Double amputee. Yeah. And they fitted him with, Rob Bottin fitted him with extra limbs that he just pulled off. And make it looks like it was really getting eaten. So this shot was one shot. The ripping off shot was a different shot. But they edit it so quickly and so seamlessly that you don't even notice it. It is really a composite shot with 4 different layers to it. It's so crazy. And this was one of the things that put Rob Bottin in the hospital at the end of the shoot because he worked on set for like 24/7.
Yeah. And he also wanted to play Palmer the entire time.
Yeah, and he wanted to play Palmer too. And Carpenter felt so bad when Rob Bottin went into the hospital because he said, well, I worked him too hard. And the fact of the matter is, he really didn't, but he felt that way. But yeah, that entire sequence is like, I don't know, put in your portfolio to sell to any other movie in the 80s from like to the end of. This is one of the things that got Rob Bottin the role, the effects job in RoboCop.
Yeah.
Later on, where.
Which, while you were away, that's the one thing I did cover was Rob Bottin's kind of his catalog for horror Amorata.
Yeah. This shot where it kind of is like it snarls around and then it grabs a chair and then it pulls itself is disgusting.
Well, I love it too because the evolutionary theory that everything becomes a crab. What does it become? A crab.
Yeah. with like eyes.
The 2 little sock eyes. Yeah, it's a crab.
I thought it was a spider, but crab is good, I guess.
I mean, what is a crab other than a sea spider?
Yeah,
I guess.
Well, the thing that really got me too is the first time I saw this, I was old enough that I had played the original Valve game. So I'm like, oh my, look, it's a head crab.
Half-Life, yeah.
Half-Life. And I think that this kind of gives the idea about the heat. I don't know why it gave him the notion of, okay, if it's electrical, then it must be heat. And I was like, How did you make that connection? So McCready is like, okay, if it's the defibrillator that did it, that made it so violent of an attack, why don't we just heat something up and it would do just the same?
Well, it was more the flame where it's trying to its own realm of self-preservation where anything it's like even a molecule of it is trying to survive. So it will try to flee or fight back.
Yeah. So this is the moment where it was like, okay, we're going to test everybody.
Oh, just as an aside real quick, I have to mention the Norris bit because it makes me laugh every single time I watch this movie when they have the little Norris head crab try to like skitter away like, I'm getting away with it.
Yeah.
They're just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't, but yeah.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah.
And then we have again the final kind of swerve there right before that's the fire test where everyone always assumed that Clark may have been infected, but when he tries to attack McCready, you're like, oh wait, no, he is. You find out, no, he just assumed that Mac was because he's trying to take over everything, and like the thing would. So,
and when it does, it's Childs that are like, okay, it just makes you a murderer.
Yep.
If he's not, and essentially that's what McCready is. What he ends up wrestling with, I guess.
To be fair, McCready it was actually self-defense because Clark was gonna stab him with the scalpel.
Yeah. Yeah. So Nullis gets exonerated. Windows gets exonerated. And the fact of the matter is McCready is like, okay, we're going to do Childs last for some reason.
No, they do Gary last.
No, they do Gary last. Sorry. Because they don't like Gary for some reason because he's just an asshole, I guess. And the look that Childs gives McCready right after he tests his blood is like, see, I told you I'm human. Now get this shit off me.
Well, I think Gary's reaction is the best after Palmer, but we'll get to that at Palmer in a second.
Yeah.
But Gary's reaction, we're going to forward and back a bit. Where he goes, listen, I know we're going through a lot right now, guys, but I don't want to spend all winter on this fucking couch.
So, yeah. I would imagine so. I would imagine so.
Okay, because they test Palmer's blood and I think too, Child's reaction to them testing his blood and him almost grimacing, like maybe I am infected, because Palmer didn't seem infected. And as we discussed, maybe it is something that does happen over time.
Yeah.
Yes. Because when Palmer gets sort of found out, he has this violent reaction where he just eats Windows. Like,
poor Windows.
Yeah.
Permanently shut down.
I would say Windows Windows did crash.
No, Windows blue screened.
Yeah.
The entire time, like McCready just ineffectually trying to start the flamethrower the whole goddamn time.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not gonna say it was already on, but whatever. They were like, they had to have a little bit of suspense. Plus, they had to start to get rid of people because we're like 20 minutes before the end of the movie at this point. Yeah. So we have Palmer, or the thing Palmer, getting burnt and just busting through the door. By the way, this is Antarctica. Look at how thick are the walls. They are hella cold.
Oh, yeah.
Like they are hella cold.
And I'm sorry, I laughed to myself today when I did another rewatch this afternoon, because the first thing I thought was this meow meow, the stings. of a corpse walk running outside on fire. I was thinking of Father's Day, Meph.
Yeah, I know what I immediately where you were going.
Meow meow.
God, I can't believe I watched that movie.
It's so good.
Jesus Christ. So when everybody gets tested,
Jesus, where?
Yeah. Gary's been exonerated. Charles been exonerated. Lawless. We had this whole ordeal where poor Windows get eaten head first and dies. So they essentially decide to go and test Blair, but Blair's not there. Right? Big problem. So they find out this hole that they dug, and when they get to this spaceship, you don't actually see any spaceship. And this is the point.
It's a form of one that is reminiscent of any sci-fi film from ever. But
again, you don't see the full thing, and it's kind of cobbled together, sort of like, oh, he couldn't, finish it on time, I guess.
But it's also pretty self-evident by the fact that he was able to create this cave that he's not a man anymore.
No.
Well, especially in the amount of time he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as soon as they drop down, and again, everybody there is literally wearing a bomb vest on themselves, because everybody there had like dynamite strapped to themselves.
Because that's what's important too, is this was their conversation where they're like, listen, we're not going to survive this, but we can at least make sure that this won't survive it either.
Yeah.
That's the entire point of this entire mission. Is it's a suicide mission. It really is.
Yes. It really, at this point, it kind of looks like they've sort of like, okay, there's nowhere to run. Nobody's coming here. Communication. If we didn't even have that disruption that already was when everything was okay, Blair destroyed all the communication computers, all the communication stuff. Everything is down. There is no connection to the outside world.
The
Plus,
generators
we don't
have been shut down now.
Yeah. Plus, we don't want anybody to come in here because they don't know about the thing, and we still have to deal with Blair. Which
how much easier would it be if one of the last Norwegian survivors would have been able to speak English?
Yes, but it would kind of solve half the issues that they had, I guess.
I know there would be no story, but still, it's like, if one of you guys would have spoken English.
And when they do decide to like, okay, there is no way of getting out, they just destroy the base, which means they have no place to stay in. They don't even have food, and they're in Antarctica. And it's winter in Antarctica. So
they're gonna freeze to death before they die of starvation.
Yeah. So they're 100 below? I don't know how much in Fahrenheit. It's
no,
minus,
they said it was gonna be 100 below. 0.
Yeah, so it's minus 50 Celsius or lower than that, which I don't know how much that is in Fahrenheit. You guys do the math. I think at some point both of them are literally the same, but
yeah. 32. Isn't it?
I don't know.
Or that's the same. 32 degrees. It's the same. I think.
And when they do realize, the fact of the matter is, when they get to the generator and the generator is completely shot, and Gary's like, there's no way of fixing the generator.
It's gone.
This is the point where I think McCready doesn't say it and Gary doesn't say it, but they are all thinking, yeah, we're done.
What's interesting is nobody knows where Nollis went.
Yeah. Poor Nollis.
Well, I feel super bad for Gary, because Gary actually just ends up being pretty much kind of a stand-up guy, and then he gets confronted by the Blair thing, who just mushes his hand into his face.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and you see him walk away with him like, I love that practical effect of the corpse of Gary kind of being dragged behind him, extended by his hand.
I want to answer a question. Sander, we don't have any plans to do the 2011 thing. We might. I don't know if we're going to do it for like an October month, but we might do like a remake month or remakes that failed, or I don't know.
Remakes that suck. Oh wait, no, that's
I haven't seen the 2011 thing because I wasn't really interested in that remake. Good. But it could be in the same month where we do the 1998 Psycho.
Oh, we could do that next year then. Do horror remakes that went terribly bad. Psycho, this, Black Christmas. There are
I'd probably get shit for, but I didn't think Psycho was that bad.
It's a shot-for-shot remake with Vince Vaughn and Anne Heche, essentially.
I just didn't like Vince Vaughn in it.
It's weird because I like him in it.
Oh, well, okay.
I don't know. It's like, he's so off, but at the same time, he's not creepy the same way Anthony Perkins is creepy, but he's kind of creepy in his own way. And it gives you that feeling of, this is just some poor autistic boy that was abused to hell and back, and this is what happened at the end. Whereas the other one, he was just fucked up. So
yeah.
To answer the full question, no. But of course, our esteemed colleague and longtime viewer of the show does say it's time for Cinema Deathmatch.
Round 1, fight.
And I know horror Amorata is like, what? What did you just say? The original name of the segment is called Cinema Deathmatch, but because
Meth had to change it because of YouTube, so we got to make it Screen Fighter.
But because I had a change in heart, plus I kind of noticed the fact that you can, ever since November 5th. You can say a lot of things that you could not say before November 5th of last year.
Gee, wonder if something happened that day.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. Politics does not revolve around this show, nor does I want it to be.
Good.
But something happened. It kind of affected sort of a domino effect on YouTube and other websites. So the name of the segment is finally Cinema Deathmatch, as I literally go down a very short elevator. I know you don't notice it, but it's very noticeable to me where the microphone goes up and Mephisto goes down.
Yeah, I can
that was so funny because it looks like the exact opposite.
I'm going to stay here for the rest of the show, down here in the basement. All right, Cinema Deathmatch is where we take two movies, pit them together, and see which one is the best one. If there's no discernible difference between the two, both of them are good or both of them are bad, we fall into our criteria, which is Saturday evening, Friday evening, out with the boys, out with the girls, out with your significant other. Two movies in a vacuum. Which one will we pop in? It. I know it's a miniseries, but it's also a movie. And Deja Vu. Can I click it? And not have you guys' opinion?
I have no idea what that is. Go right ahead.
Oh, you don't know what deja vu means? Or
no, I know what deja vu means. I've just never seen the movie.
It's okay. But I mean,
it's not good.
Come on. Tim Curry is it.
Yeah, Tim Curry is it. Wins.
It's so good.
Well, those are two very different movies.
Buddy or Resident Evil Apocalypse.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. That is the second one?
Is it the
Apocalypse?
The third one.
The third one.
I thought so.
Okay.
This one,
so that's
I think,
not the one in Raccoon City. It's the one that's after.
No, this was with stars.
So that's the one in Raccoon City. So that is two.
Yeah. They go back to Raccoon City now. Or
I don't remember.
They had it in a simulation because the third one that was in the desert.
Right.
I think
we're all picking Resident Evil Apocalypse. Buddy's just not a good movie.
I mean, it was an
like
okay. I would watch
schm-
it with my kid, but
It's a schmaltzy kind of a movie, but
And also, given the text and the way that it's framed, and given it's October, it looks as almost as if it's like, is that monkey gonna kill somebody?
maybe. Is this monkey gonna kill somebody? Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. That is the first of the new trilogy, and Finding Dory, which is the sequel to Finding Nemo.
I haven't seen either of these.
I sadly watched Finding Dory. I don't like any of the Planet of the Apes.
No,
not the newer ones. Ever since Marky Mark, it's not for me.
Well, because this is actually different. Because wasn't Dawn the second one?
I don't know. I think Dawn is the first because it says Dawn in it.
If it's the very first one, that's actually okay. James Franco is the designer of the virus that gives them higher intelligence, but it basically creates a virus that kills humanity, essentially.
Okay.
But it gives apes enhanced intelligence.
I'm gonna put it.
Movie.
I'm gonna put it in the box where I have not seen it. I just don't want to press the box because it finally actually works. The website, so I don't want to fuck with it. Let's see. Paul Harley's like apes, I guess. Finding Dory is not a good movie.
No,
it's not. Even to Pixar standards, I don't want to say Disney, but even to Pixar standards, it's not good at all. At all. I just don't like the newer Planet of the Apes. I much prefer the old stuff, the Charlton Heston original.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, Nobody
cares.
So I'm gonna press Finding Dory.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Love Actually or Green Lantern. Amorata, go right ahead.
My gloves on.
I
Go ahead, Amorata.
don't even like either of these.
Okay.
I guess if I had to pick one, I'd have to pick Green Lantern.
Okay, Amorata, there's a reason why you're one of our favorite guests.
Yeah.
You chose correctly.
I'm a romance movie person.
I'm not either.
We had a conversation about like terrible comic book adaptations, and oddly enough, I actually had fun with Green Lantern. I know it's a terrible movie, but it's Ryan Reynolds just basically being Ryan Reynolds, and I like Ryan Reynolds, so
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is generally good. Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, Love Actually is a better movie than Green Lantern as a movie, as a story. I prefer to watch Green Lantern.
all I'm saying is the story with Keira Knightley's character, and apparently it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, I've been in love with you the whole time, or being like, I'm getting married tomorrow. Fuck off. Like,
okay,
what?
Is this the actual movie or is it the HBO special? Because I know there's a movie made about this.
I think that's the special.
That's the special. So I'm going to do haven't seen it because it's not really a movie. Okay. That's much better. Duel, which is a horror movie that I have seen, and Slumdog Millionaire, which is a movie that I wish I did not see.
Why are you guys not doing any movies I've actually watched?
You haven't watched either?
No.
I'm just going to press Duel because I have watched them both. All right. Really okay. The Peter Jackson King Kong and Dragnet.
Dragnet.
Because it's funny?
Yes.
Cool. All my feelings?
Oh, agree.
Agree.
Even though that's a great King Kong poster, but yeah, it's
because it looks like a 1933 King Kong, but it's definitely not. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Dragnet, even though it's not the best movie.
No, but it's a good movie. You know.
All right,
this one I'll sit down and watch.
Right. The last pairing is the Battle of the Dawns. Red Dawn, the classic 1984 movie, Patrick Swayze and blah, blah, blah. And Dawn of the Dead, which is, this is the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead?
Yep.
Correct. This is Fast Zombies. This is the
Fast Zombie one.
Yeah,
I would say
okay.
the first in the Dawn version of Fast
Okay.
movies.
Yeah.
28 Days Later did it first, but this did it better.
Okay, cool. Amorata?
It's rough because it's one of those, I could watch both of these. They're very mood dependent. But right now, I think I'm feeling Red Dawn.
Okay. I kind of expected you would go with Dawn of the Dead, but okay. Feelings?
Come on.
I don't know.
Wolverines!
Wolverines.
Absolutely.
The best part about the Dawn of the Dead, though, is he really, really pushed the line on the zombie baby. I was like, that's a unique take. And then also when they got on the boat, they found the head in the cooler.
I liked the head.
I was like, that's a cool one. And they actually, when they got to the island, they're like, oh, fuck, the island's infected. Turner.
I agree with Sander. Sander, Dawn of the Dead, which is a movie we did cover a while back, okay, was one of the steps that All My Feelings kind of forced me to do.
It's like, just watch it. I know the makeup's terrible. All the zombies are green. The makeup's bad.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Savini's a genius. You'll see.
Yep.
And it is the one thing, or one of the steps that kind of led me into what I said at the beginning of the show, where All My Feelings and the show kind of forced me to step out of the box and try the horror stuff. And almost everything we cover when it comes to horror stuff and like horror thriller kind of stuff, where we did the Korean thing, kind of changed my mind about some stuff. Yep. So yeah, I did enjoy the Dawn of the Dead. I did.
Nice.
I did. All right, cool. Back to base. Where is it? Back to diabetes. No, I'm just joking.
I only want to. Now I really, really want a cut of the diabetes commercial, just with him grabbing in his hand, getting his.
I think that Gary from Pop Culture Minefield had like a clip of it a while back, but he stopped using it. I think he got hit with like a claim. Yeah. So that last thing where McCready kind of realizes, oh, we're kind of fucked. We're kind of fucked. Because he calls for Nullis and Nullis doesn't answer him. And he calls Gary and Gary doesn't answer him. So he decides, well, I think it's time to blow shit up.
He's right next to the plunger and he's about to, and then the entire just undermine underneath the floorboards just
yeah, and it's I want to get to there.
And we get to
see it before.
The Blair thing, with his Molotov cocktails.
Yes, and it kind of disappears into the ground, and you're like, "What are they going to do now?" Oh wait, I do have dynamite strapped to my fucking chest.
Yeah.
How about I just light one and throw it?
No, because doesn't he, like the thing, like the Blair thing comes up, the dog comes out of its chest, and the first thing I was like, so that's where Rob Bottin got the idea for Quado from.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But then, what does he just say when he has the dynamite and he throws it? Well, fuck you too.
Yeah, well, fuck you too. Exactly. Like, if you look at it, there's really subtle humor in this, but it's like John Carpenter twisted humor in this.
There's subtle humor in every comedy, unless, every horror. Every horror has some kind of bit of really like dark black comedy to it, because the kills are funny inherently.
Now, this shot is, first of all, they use several cameras around the explosion. They rehearsed it. They had a timing for the explosions because they wanted to, they didn't want just the one big explosion. They wanted to have like a sequence So they had to literally rehearse it with, okay, number 1, click. Number 2, click. 5 seconds. Number 3, click. With the explosion master or general, whatever is called. Forgot the name of it. No, it's not armor. It's the demolition grandmaster or whatever. He has like a specific name. So they had to rehearse.
On-site demolition specialist.
Whatever. They had a timing where it was like 4. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, click. 1, 2, 3, click. So it's like a musical thing. And the reason why, they just could not afford to blow the same place twice. So they had to get it on the first go. They spent a week with the timing and making sure everything is okay. And once they were done, they could literally do the redress and make it a Norwegian base, right? Just for the exterior shots, not the interior. And they positioned several cameras around it. I couldn't get the right number. I think it's 4 or 5 different cameras. I couldn't get the number down. And they got it on one take, and they were very happy with it because they just couldn't spend more money on it. And that's that. It was either this or getting another weird like puppet dog, and they wanted the puppet dog, so they got it. But yeah, it's one of those things. And after the the point, I don't know if people forget. Maybe people who watch this for like 30 times remember this. Before they go down and put down the explosives with Nullis and Gary and everybody, Childs has left.
Yeah, well, Childs was on his own, and then Nullis sees him run off on his own, and I think I just saw Childs running somewhere.
Yeah,
and then it's believable to what the Thing or Childs would say. I thought I saw Blair, so I ran after him, and I got lost in the storm.
Yeah. And when everything is down, McCready thinks he's left alone, but then he meets Childs.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, he wasn't alone. He had his best friend, his bottle of J&B Scotch, which is terrible.
It's cheap enough to get to Antarctica. That's what matters.
Yes, exactly. And the thing about it is, both of them actually passed the blood test as well.
But now.
Yes, but now.
So this is the ambiguous ending we talked about, where we kind of figure out that McGreedy isn't, but we don't know anything about Childs.
We assume McCready isn't.
We assume. I don't know, because.
Well, the best part too is they both know that they're gonna die or freeze to death anyway. So even McCready goes, even if we could do anything about it, we're both too exhausted to do anything. So
yeah.
So what do you think we should do? Let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
It isn't the bottom bottle of scotch.
So to me, they're both human, because Carpenter was fucking with us about Childs. And McGreedy is like, you kind of see him all through that process of everything gets like exploded and everything. He kind of survives Blair that way. To me, he wouldn't have blown him up at that point where he kind of, if he was already turned, I don't think he would have blown him up, because that's where the ship is if they wanted to get off the planet.
Yeah, and you would think also too, if they were both, as one of the endings had, that they were both already turned, wouldn't they have already? Can't the entity itself recognize itself, or the components of itself?
Yeah, because they're supposed to have this. Yeah, this
like a
hive mind
so
or something.
Like, oh well. Yeah, what the hell are we going to do now? I guess we're going to chill out for a little while.
Oh, God.
Please don't. Holy shit.
I have been waiting the entire time to make that joke.
I know
He's
you
your
were.
friend. That's all I've got to say.
My God. My God.
You chose him.
And in one of the endings,
Amorata, I know he chose poorly. It's okay.
I chose fair. The fact of the matter is, there is that other ending where they're both kind of turning into the thing and screaming, it's like at each other, right? But then doesn't really work, and it's sort of a bad ending that audiences really wouldn't like, because it kind of survives everything, all the blasts, and they're kind of used to like seeing like Alien, maybe.
Yeah, where Alien had some sort of, at least it was a bleak ending, but Ripley survived.
Yeah, yeah.
And
in this one,
Xenomorph was, in that version of the script, was gone.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. And in this way, again, it's still bleak, but when everything ends, curtain comes up, lights come up, and you leave the theater, essentially, the moment where you turn to your friend or whoever you went to see the movie with, it's like, what do you think? It's like, who is Childs really it? Is McCready or both, or have they survived? How can they survive when there's no food, there's no shelters, there's no nothing? This is Antarctica in winter. Yeah, they're both dead. It gets you thinking. This is exactly what John Carpenter was trying to get to.
Which is exactly what the original novella left you with, that same feeling, that haunting feeling, like, oh, we don't know if the entity's ever gone, and we know our protagonists are not gonna make it.
Yeah. But then when the rescue crew comes in, are they going to face with another bout of dealing with this thing? I don't know. You go ahead and think about it. And actually makes it great. And also, again, only in hindsight, because the original audience really didn't like this ending at all. I didn't pull up the box office. Did it do? I know it didn't do as well as they expected. I don't think it actually bombed, but I'll check.
I remember.
Thing box office. Yeah, it flopped. It did only 14.4 million domestically. Yeah, the 1982 thing did about 14.4 million domestically. In 1882, a horror movie, I don't think it actually went like full distribution worldwide. Maybe a little bit, but I don't have any data on it. Or at least the almighty Google /AI doesn't have any data on it. It just, after that, it actually gave me like 2011 data, which, yeah, not the same. But yeah, it didn't do so well at all.
No, it didn't.
And
you
would think
it wasn't actually until later, afterward, that the cultural impact of it started coming in on its VHS as its original release. Then it became a cult hit, and then it started doing extremely well on back end sales, and so much that it is inspired so much that Tarantino has been on record saying like the paranoia that's evident in Reservoir Dogs was solely based on The Thing.
I think he also mentioned Hateful Eight. I think that I've seen that interview.
And Hateful Eight as
before.
well, yeah.
Hateful Eight has got he said he's got elements of that paranoia where you don't know who's gonna shoot anybody, that sort of thing. And he was trying to get to that, especially with the fact that you've got this cold snow outside and they're all shacked up in this haberdashery thing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, given the multiple different interpretations, like even I would say James Gunn was really heavily influenced with Slither.
Okay. I can see that.
And the Faculty, yeah.
Well, definitely the Faculty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Among Us.
Oh, I was gonna say one quick thing, real quick. A fun note is the Amsterdam Scott South Pole Station in Antarctica does a yearly viewing of The Thing. No, I would not want
You would not partake in a viewing of that?
That would be the last thing. I'm like, listen, I love my horror films. I don't want to live one.
Okay. So Among Us, the game, originally came with 2 sets of maps. I know it's a little bit out there, but hear me out. Came in with 2 sets of map. One was a space station. The other one was called Polis, which is a snowy base. Now, when the original version, which was gone to oblivion by now, of Among Us came out, it only had the one map, which is that snowy base.
Mm-hmm.
And it was said it was heavily inspired by The Thing, by the 1982 version of The Thing, and how they came up with concepts of it. But of course, the way you play the game now wasn't intended on playing. Like you weren't intending of actually being on Discord or anything to actually talk to people and figure things out. But why the game became popular is the fact that everybody was talking and trying to lie and figure out who is the guy. And if you hear people do that during that craze of 2020 or 2021, I don't remember exactly when. I'm guessing 2020.
Yeah.
It is very much reminiscing of this movie. You can, when you hear people talk, it's one of those talks. We mentioned that where they designate McCready is the guy, or when they're testing the blood and figuring it out. It sounds very much the same. I went back and actually rewatched a few games from various different streamers at the time. And it's very much sort of on the same level of conversations that you have in the movie. And it's eerily weird because I'm pretty sure most of the streamers I've watched have not really watched The Thing before, ever. And it's really weird that they have the same level of conversations to figure out who is the guy or the gal.
It's one of the fun things about this specific type of horror in general. I mean, this is very, not to pull the obvious card, Lovecraftian.
Yeah.
And the biggest point of that kind of existential horror is the idea of what we do know and what we don't know, and how do we figure it out, and what happens when we don't know, and then worse, what happens when we do know. So, and it's just a part of, I believe it's just a part of human nature overall, that when it comes to that kind of situation, that kind of thing, we have that conflict within ourselves to both know and not want to know, but need to know to try to do anything, even though in the end we're helpless against it all.
And I mentioned it, the fact that they're very the curiosity gets the better of them at certain points, where there were points where they should have just stopped and not moved forward, but then they continued. And it happens also in Alien as well, where they're a little bit too curious, but there's a malicious, push of
the desire for power and money.
The android.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Awesome. Amorata, thank you for joining us in this fine Saturday. Hope you enjoyed yourself.
Very much.
I think we did too. Next week we are going to cover The Substance with hopefully a guest. I haven't heard back from him, but hopefully with a guest. I wanted to talk to all my feelings about The Substance for almost a year.
Yep, because I told you to watch it, and you're like, "Oh God, that's a really good movie." But,
yes,
yep.
Besides the fact that it is a horror movie, or essentially a body horror movie, it's a very good movie that I've literally said we're not going to talk about this like off air. No, we're gonna wait, and I'm pretty excited about it. So, guys out there, go watch The Substance if you haven't, and come back to us next week. Amorata, if you've got anything to plug, anything you want before we go?
I will be playing some video games tomorrow at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, playing Hell Is Us. Tuesdays, I do, we call it the Offensive Charm Podcast on the channel by the same name. So feel free to stop by that. We just talk about pop culture stuff and generally, yap about things. And other than that, my normal streaming routine, which you can find on my X account, which is Amorata.
And it's all in the description down below. All the various places that you can find Amorata, especially X, where you've got the link, like you've got this what do you call it? Link tree. The link tree, you can get it on X. So go right ahead and enjoy all that good stuff. And remember, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. We'll see you next week. You're still here? It's over. Go home.